Hi, my name is Rachel. You've obviously found my channel. What you're about to see is my friend Erica telling me the plotline of the movie Hereditary. It's a pretty recent movie, so if you don't want to be spoiled, then definitely wait until after you've seen the movie to watch this video. Then I'm sure you'll find it hilarious. Unless you want to be spoiled, and then that's fine too. Go ahead and watch the rest of the video. This will be hopefully the first in a series of many of my close friends and family telling me the plotlines of movies that I haven't seen, or books as the case may be. This is literally one of my favorite things in the world. So hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I do and come back for more. Additionally, I wanted to let you know that I'll also be posting videos of the creative process of writing something from beginning to finish. Well, when I say beginning, I mean the beginning of an idea. You have to know what you're going to write before you start writing it, so feel free to check out that series too. I think I'm pretty close to posting the first video of that. So if you want to come along on that journey, please do so. If you just want little one-shot videos of someone telling me something that I didn't know, which guess what, happens a lot in my daily life, then yeah, feel free to come back when there's more videos about that. Thank you.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. No. No. Really?
Just kidding, that's not Erica. That's Padme.
So it starts off with, it's this family, and I don't remember what state they're in, but it's the mom, dad, and then an older brother and a younger sister.
Okay.
And it starts off with them like getting ready for church or something.
Okay, who's in this movie, by the way?
Toni Collette's in it.
Okay.
And then a bunch of people I don't know. A bunch of no names.
Okay, is everyone cute?
Not really.
Okay.
The older brother could be cute, but he has like these really thick eyebrows, like overly thick, and and he has this mole right here that just distracts him.
And it's just too much.
It's just too much going on. So she's in the movie, and then they're getting ready for church or something. You find out they're going to a funeral.
Okay.
So it's her mother that died.
Okay.
Passed away.
Toni Collette's mother?
Yes. So they get there. Oh, and
rest in peace.
Yes, exactly. And the daughter is like, she's kind of quirky. You can just tell her off the bat. Like something's different about her.
Like weird quirky, not like cool quirky.
Yeah, not like nerdy cool.
Not like me quirky.
Exactly. No, not like exactly.
Okay.
No, there's just something off about her.
Okay.
And she does this thing where she goes like all the time.
Which is what
Jason was talking about.
Our friend that recommended this movie to us.
Yes, he said that you'll never hear that sound and think of it the same way again. So, so that's going on. They go to the funeral, and it's her mother, and it's an open casket.
Okay.
And the girl just like is eating like a Nutrigrain bar or something.
As
weird.
one does at a funeral.
Exactly. And she walks up and she just like stares at the grandmother in the coffin, just eating away. And it's like, okay.
So there's no like context before this. Like it opens at the them going to the funeral.
Exactly. And there's like very like few words. It's basically like the dad walks in and says, "Here's your suit, son," and then that's about it. And then so they go to the funeral. She's eating her bar, and
she's chomping
away. And you see this like it focuses on this necklace that she has on, which you don't know the meaning of until the end.
First of all, I love that you're like this detailed about it. This is what's gonna make it good.
And then so then fast forward. Then, like, the son goes to school and everything, and you can see he's just, like, this run-of-the-mill, kind of popular, kind of not, kind of
the guy with the mole?
With the mole.
Okay.
The big, bushy eyebrows that I can't stand.
Okay.
And then, so fast forward a little bit, the mother has a hard time dealing with the grief of her mother passing, so she goes to, like, a support group.
Okay.
And she lies and tells everybody that she's going to see a movie by herself. So I don't know what that was about.
Because grief is something that we can't handle.
I guess.
People know that you have feelings.
Right, exactly. So she does that, and she, like, doesn't speak or anything at the meeting. She just kind of sits there and listens. And then it fast forwards to the son wanting to go to this party. And so he goes to this party. Actually...
When it's fast forwarding, like, how much time is passing?
Not much.
Like a day? 2 days?
Maybe a couple of days.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe a couple of days.
So we're not, like, months down the road. This is, like, the same week, basically.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
I think. Maybe. Maybe. Don't quote me on that.
Okay, so he wants to go to a party.
He wants to go to a party. And this is, like, getting real deep into it now.
Okay.
So he goes to this party, and he's, like, smoking a bowl with his friends, because there's this cute girl that he likes there.
As always.
Always.
Okay.
Oh, and the daughter, like, she's always drawing stuff. She's always constantly drawing people. So, like, even at the funeral, she's, like, drawing the grandmother in the casket.
Chomp,
right, exactly. So she draws the grandmother in the casket, which is weird. So that happens.
Okay.
And then, so they go to this party. She takes her little notebook with her, and she's drawing stuff. She eats this cake. that because he's like, oh, I'm gonna go. He's like, he doesn't want her to follow him because he's gonna go smoke weed.
Okay.
So he's like, just go over there. He's like, look, there's chocolate cake. Go eat the chocolate cake.
The little sister went to the party with him?
She did. She's 13. Which, by the way, the whole movie, you have no idea if she's like 8 or if she's like 15. Because she has this look on her, like you just can't tell how old she is. And it's very bizarre.
Okay.
And the whole time she's doing like this thing, which is driving me crazy.
Eating the Nutri-Grain bar.
Exactly.
Eating the cake.
So she eats the cake, and then apparently it has like nuts or something in it, which they don't preface it by telling you she has a nut allergy, but apparently she does because she has a huge reaction.
You find out real quick.
Real quick. Because she's like, it feels like my throat is getting bigger. I can't breathe, and so he freaks out, and he's high as a kite.
Yeah.
So then he takes her in the car to like go to the emergency room. They're driving down, which by the way, they drive down this road that has like no streetlights whatsoever. So it's like I don't believe you're really going to the hospital. That seems weird.
Yeah.
Because you would think there'd be like streetlights and stuff.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. So it's like they're out in the middle of nowhere. And then he sees this deer on the road, so he swerves. And then he swerves back. And she's like, can't breathe. So she rolled down the window to like put her head out and breathe. And so he swerves and swerves back. And then when he swerves back, there's this telephone pole. And her head's sticking out the door. So she gets decapitated.
Oh no!
Yeah. And he doesn't stop.
How far
he just
into
keeps
the movie
driving.
is this?
This is like halfway through.
Okay, so at this point you're like, okay, this is like a study about his family.
Right.
And we're gonna figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
And suddenly she's decapitated.
Because it
he's
tells
not
you
stopping.
No, he's not stopping. And it tells you in the description of the movie it's about how like they've inherited this bad luck basically.
Okay.
And so that's all it tells you really.
And that's where Hereditary comes from?
Exactly.
Okay.
So she gets her head chopped off. And he like slows down, but he doesn't look backwards at all. And he's just like freaking out. And you can see like he's swelling up with tears. And he just kind of just like holds on to the, like grips the steering wheel, and then he just slowly proceeds.
While you're just staring at his mole.
Exactly, and his bushy eyebrows.
I can't look away.
So he doesn't even look back to see if she's not there. You can tell clearly she's no longer with us because she's not wheezing anymore.
He's like, oh, she's fine.
Because before she was wheezing like crazy in the back seat, and then that stops.
Why was she sitting in the back seat? Because she's
I don't
8
know.
to 13.
She was. And that's the thing. On the way to the party, she was sitting in the back, too. And I was like, that's bizarre.
Is that like a kid thing? I don't know. Us 90s kids. Like, I was allowed to sit in the front seat.
I was allowed to sit in
like,
the front seat when I was like 10. So
younger than that, even.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know if I should have been, but.
Who knows? You're tall. You could deal with it.
That's right.
I think there's just a height requirement. I'm shorter, so it
You're
took me
still sitting in the
longer.
back seat. Okay, so he's driving and he doesn't notice, but he's like freaking out.
He's freaking out, and so he just drives forward, and then he just drives home like nothing happens. And he doesn't, when he gets out of the car, he doesn't look in the back seat. He doesn't like wipe the blood off the car or anything. He just goes inside. Okay. So he doesn't look in the back seat or anything, and he just goes inside like nothing happened, and just goes to bed, and that's it. And then the next morning, you hear Toni Collette screaming her heart out.
Oh no, she's already been at that grief council.
Exactly, because she went and like looked in the back seat, I guess, and saw her headless daughter in the back seat.
My God, can you imagine?
No. And then it like shows, it like fast forward to I guess maybe a couple of days later, and it shows the head lying on the side of the road with all these flies all over it and everything. It's really gross.
Okay.
Real, yeah.
That's real gross.
Real gross.
Okay.
And so then, fast forward, and she, like, weird stuff starts happening. She meets this woman in the grief counseling group, and her name's Joan, or Joni, as she goes by. And she was talking about how she saw this medium and did a seance, because her son and her grandson both died.
Okay.
So she starts talking about how she summoned her grandson.
So Toni Collette's like getting ideas.
She's getting ideas. She was very hesitant.
She's like, I got a lot of people I need to talk to.
Yeah, she freaked out at first because they did the seance and the grandson like wrote on a chalkboard without like actually like being present. And so then like the woman gave her all the tools she needed to do it at home by herself. So then she talks her family into doing it because everybody has to be there at the same time in the house.
Okay.
So it's her son, the husband, and her. And the son's, like, freaking out the whole time.
Because he killed his sister.
I know. And then she's trying to bring her back from the dead. So it's just
Does
weird.
it come out that he was, like, what happened? Like, that he, like, not really killed her, but, like, is culpable for her death?
Yes. Yeah. The mom, like, freaked out on him at dinner one night. and was like, you know, you can't take responsibility for your actions. You haven't even apologized for killing your sister and all this stuff.
He snuck out of the house.
I know, right?
It's like manslaughter.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that happens, and then so they do this seance.
That girl though.
I don't know.
Not important details.
Not important.
Okay, they have the seance.
They have the seance, and then she like sets because she has to have something of the daughters to.
Is it the necklace?
It's not the necklace. It's her notebook.
Oh. Okay.
So she starts vigorously writing on the notebook.
Does she make the sound?
I think she does.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the son gets real freaked out and starts crying. And then they stop. And then they start up again. And the mother has the voice of the daughter.
Creepy.
And she's like, Mommy, where are you? Mommy, I can't find you. Mommy, why are y'all angry? Why are y'all so sad? What's going on? And it's real creepy. And then, so the son's like losing his shit at this point.
Yeah.
And then, and the husband's like, no, let's stop this. We gotta stop. And he grabs a cup of water and throws it on her. So it just stops. Okay. So then she's like, wait, what happened? What? I don't understand. And then, so they tell her. And so then, fast forward, the Toni Collette is in the house by herself and she hears the sound up in the attic. So she goes up to the attic. Oh, by the way, at some point, the husband got a phone call saying that the mother's grave was
desecrated?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So he didn't tell Toni Collette. He was like, "Oh, it was a billing issue. That's why they were calling me."
Probably smart. She's not dealing with it well.
Yeah, she's really not. So she hears this noise in the attic and goes up there and finds her headless mother's body up there with a bunch of flies. Why she's headless, I don't understand. Then that never really gets spoken about. About how she became headless. So that happens. And then the son comes home or the husband comes home first, and she's like, go up there, and he doesn't believe her. He's like, no, you're sick, you're ill, we need to find you help, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, no, really, like, go look up in the attic. And so he goes up there and finds the body. And then he's like, you dug her up, didn't you? Which, again...
He got the phone call.
Right. And then, again, never gets addressed. So all these questions you never find out.
Okay.
So it just leaves a lot of things in the air. So then, what happens next? Then the son comes home, and he goes up there for some reason. I can't remember why. But the mother, and then the mother at one point tried to... Because the notebook keeps writing at random times throughout the day.
Okay.
And she finds it. And she finds on the picture was the son. Peter is his name. And it was him with his eyes crossed out on all the photos.
Oh, so she's mad at him.
Yeah, so something's happening with him. So we don't know what.
Well, he made her eat the cake.
Well, exactly.
And then he drove her into a
telephone pole.
The only one on the road.
Exactly. So then... So she sees that, and she knows that something's going to happen with Peter. So she tries to burn the book. But when she burns the book, it lights herself on fire. So then when she puts the fire on the book, the fire goes out on her. So it's like there's some kind of weird connection there.
Okay.
So then Peter comes home. He goes up in the attic for some reason, sees the body. The mom, and this, again, no question answered. You don't understand how it goes from point A to point B. But she becomes possessed again. Not by the daughter's, being, but just in general. It's really weird. She's
like a demon or something?
Kind of. And she's
generic
crawling up on the ceiling and stuff.
Okay.
And so he freaks out, just loses his shit.
Understandably.
He goes up to the attic to get away from her because he can, pull the ladder up and she can't get up there.
Yeah, although she can climb on the walls, so.
She climbed up on the ceiling. But he locked it from the inside of the attic, and she's banging her head on the door. Hanging upside down, banging her head on the door.
He's not had a good couple
months.
He
really hasn't. Poor kid. He's got it real rough.
It's probably because of the mole.
Probably. And the bushy eyebrows. And he has a horrible, bowl cut, too. So it doesn't help him out.
Anyway. We digress.
Anyway. So she's, banging her head on the door. And he doesn't unlock it, obviously, because she's, freaking out. She's some kind of demonic possession woman. Uh-huh. But then he sees where the dead body was, because there's an outline of sawdust or whatever.
You know.
And it's no longer there.
Creepy.
So he is what's going on here? And then next thing you know, you see the mother inside the attic on the ceiling, sawing her own head off. With one of those strings, that's
like a garrote?
Yeah.
Is that what you call it?
I don't know. We'll just go with that.
Okay.
So she's sawing her own head off, very going at it, and blood's going out everywhere. and like just expressionless, just like whatever, not saying a word. And so he goes out the window of the attic.
I would too.
And you think he like killed himself, but he didn't, because then he gets up. And then he goes to this tree house that the daughter used to go into. And in the tree house is a bunch of naked people. Oh no, first
like
he's
dead?
I don't know.
An orgy.
I don't know, but they're naked. And he sees them in the yard first. But actually, the mother floated from the attic ceiling outside up into the treehouse, and with her head gone. And he sees this happen. So then he follows her.
As one does.
As one does. And then he gets crowned as one of the 8 kings of hell or something. And and they're all praising him with their heads off. That's how the story ends.
Erica, I don't get it.
I don't either. And I had a lot of feelings at the end of the movie and a lot of questions unanswered.
Like, I've got to tell Rachel about this.
Exactly.
Oh my god, well thank you for sharing your
You're
story
welcome.
with me. I can't wait to hear more from you.
Yeah.
Once again, thank you to my friend Burka for really breaking down the plot line of Hereditary in the 10 minutes we had before going to play trivia. So she was a real trooper and she did an amazing job. Anyway, if you want to see more of these, there'll be more soon. We'd love to have you. Leave a comment, let me know what you want to see or you want someone to tell me about. And yeah, thanks for stopping by. Love you long time.